After qualifying 4th on Saturday, Lando Norris feels McLaren's strong performance in Melbourne is primarily due to the MCL36 Formula 1 car's suitability for the Albert Park track. McLaren had a bad experience in the previous Grand Prix, but eventually, it came up to the mark and had its place on top of the Melbourne Grand Prix. What happened? McLaren had a poor start to the season in Bahrain. Neither Norris nor teammate Daniel Ricciardo scored any points after struggling to compete with the majority of the middle teams. 1 week later, Norris finished 9th in Saudi Arabia. Still, the team made a significant stride forward in Australia, with the British driver qualifying 4th, just ahead of Ferrari's Charles Leclerc and the Red Bull combo of Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. During the Bahrain test, McLaren struggled with brake cooling issues, which was alleviated but not resolved by race day adjustments and further refinements in Saudi Arabia. The definitive repair for this will improve the car's performance, especially in managing the critical front wheel wake. However, it appears that McLaren has other flaws to address. Ricciardo is optimistic that McLaren's performance in Saudi Arabia, where they were a similar distance behind the leaders but outperformed their midfield competitors, will be sustained. Bahrain, he further claimed, was a bogey circuit for the car. Australia Grand Prix. Norris said there was a split in explaining McLaren's improvement in Australia, but most of it was due to the track layout complementing the car's characteristics. We still able to squeeze naturally a little more performance out of the car by understanding a few more things and going a little bit more in a different way with the setup by understanding a few more things. Norris added, however, I believe that most of it is due to the track. We haven't brought anything that has altered substantially, and there's not much more we can do with the setup to make things move faster. While the tracks in Jeddah and Melbourne had similarities that suited McLaren, Ricciardo believed that the team was beginning to get on top of the car a little bit better. We didn't bring anything crazy different this weekend, Ricciardo explained. At the moment, I believe it's still more of a track-dependent performance. But yes, I believe we're gaining confidence in the car and in our ability to push it to its limits. This is also beneficial. Thoughts of McLaren team principal. McLaren team principal, Andreas Seidel, acknowledged the importance of the circuit layout working to the car's strengths, but he also believed that the incremental enhancements brought to Melbourne had benefited its growth, as well as an improved understanding after losing ground during preseason testing. There are 3 primary reasons why we were a little more competitive than Jeddah again, Seidel explained. Certainly, the track layout that best matches our vehicle with the current package that we have, this more fluid circuit layout that is akin to Jeddah. Then, in terms of performance, I believe we implemented some little enhancements that were successful, and every little bit helps. He also said that we should not forget that we primarily started the rally while being on the back foot. We missed out on a lot of laps at the Bahrain Grand Prix, something we cannot do again. There's always a room for improvement, and we had to learn a lot about this car and its abilities so that we know what we're doing in the upcoming sessions. That's also where the performance comes from, and I believe that putting all of it together made us a little more competitive here, which is fantastic. It's just a tremendous motivational boost for the crew to keep going and working hard to deliver more performance to the track. Thoughts of the Executive Director Racing. Andrea Stella, Executive Director of Racing, also shared his thoughts about the performance of McLaren. In Melbourne, we had a very fruitful Friday. Despite multiple interruptions due to red flags, we were able to complete our program without difficulty. Understanding the tires was crucial. They appear to be quite fascinating this weekend. We appear to have made a tiny step ahead in terms of competitiveness. We'll have to put in a lot of effort tonight to attempt to solidify our position so that we can compete for a spot in Q3 tomorrow and, maybe, some points on Sunday. This afternoon, I believe we found a solid setup. I was rather pleased with myself for the first portion of the session on the medium. I don't think I found as much as I thought I could with the softs, so there's more to come from that tire. But I felt like I was pushing it today as far as driving goes. I don't have a second in my pocket, but you'll find a bit more. Final thoughts. The whole McLaren team was pleased with their performance. I'm quite glad. It's good to be P4, says Ricciardo. It's a good reward for the crew, and it's by far the best we could have done today. Thank you to everyone who worked so hard to make this happen, both here at the track and back at the plant. Given where we've been over the last 2 weeks, it's nice to be back in Q3. Hopefully, today sets us up for a strong race and some points tomorrow. So far, I think it's been a good weekend. I've been quite pleased with the improvements, and the car has felt great, which I believe demonstrates. We had a strong qualifying performance, so that's excellent, and I'm satisfied overall. I suppose the only thing that makes me unhappy is the last run. I had some issues with the last set of tires, but I'm not sure why, so we'll investigate. However, aside from that, it was a fantastic session. As a result, we're in a terrific position for tomorrow. So I would say McLaren is all but ready to face its opponents in the next GP, and I hope McLaren puts all the effort into it as they always do. That's all for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed what you saw. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you are new to this channel to be notified when we upload more content.